The Dick Cavett Show with Woody Allen, Ruth Gordon, and Bob Rosengarten at the orchestra. Ladies and gentlemen, Dick Cavett.
There's no place for sick humor in this medium. Get that thing down. Welcome to this latest show in our series. Really the latest. I have no joke monologue prepared tonight, but I'm going to do a monologue anyway, and this is it. And if you don't like it tonight, I'm never going to do it again. This is it, folks. After tonight, Santa Flesh finds itself a new boy. Listen, I would like to say, I'm going to talk about this show later on, not a lot right now, but I would like to say, if I forget later, that I have made a lot of new friends on this run. It was a limited engagement. I'll explain that later. I mean, it was always meant to be, and I've met a lot of new people and new sponsors and friends and stolen a lot of ballpoint pens from the network. It's been fun. And I remember when my other show went off. That was a cancellation. That was the real thing. And the network has somehow, under Mr. Rule, gotten somewhat classier than then. I don't know what it is, but I remember my old cancellation was a telegram, just a telegram, nothing personal. Roses are red, violets are blue, save your money, we're dumping you. And, I knew it came from the top because red was spelled wrong, but we have... ABC has been very kind. They have made terrific fuss over me right up to the last show now. I mean, really a fuss. The way NBC treats Johnny Carson, just really... They came in and burned my office down, is what they did. Yeah. So anyway, I look forward to the winter, and I'm going to relax in the winter. My biggest problem this winter will just be whether to use coal or raisins as the snowman's mouth. You see, none of the pressures and tensions of television. Hey, a stagehand gave me a joke. He waited all this time, and he gave me a joke. Said, you may need this in the monologue. He said, tell him we were going to serve Long Island duckling, but the train didn't get in. Listen. Gee, the stagehand gets applause, I get nothing. More stagehands should be out on stage, and more performers should be back where they belong. Oh, hi, Rosengarten. He's not there.
Hi, Dickie.
Knock it off. What was I going to tell you? Oh, someone asked, I did a joke about Shirley Temple the other day, and they said, the reason Mr. Nixon appointed her to the UN delegation. And theories have been coming in. One of them is that he wants the world to have a happy ending. That's not the best one that's come in. We've had quite a few others. Listen, I have some mail to read to you. We were deluged with phone calls about the Adam Clayton Powell show Tuesday night, and the mail won't be able to come in by that, but I am going to read you, as we come back, some angry mail and some nice mail that we've gotten so that you know that your mail is looked at. And I don't want to go into a long thing about thanking all the little people, because none of them is littler than I am on this show. And so we should just get on with it. We have tonight Woody Allen, who has had a number of honors lately. One of them, he's been appointed fashion consultant to the Manganaro Trucking and Delivery firm. And one of the great ladies of the American theater and screen, Miss Ruth Gordon, is here with us. And we'll be back after this message. I know that when you watch a television show and you write in about something, you wonder if your mail is ever read. And I have been trying to catch up on the mail. It's been coming in about the show going off in boxes of 500, which are piling up. So I assume I will get to your letter sometime in November if it's at the bottom of that pile. But we did some past shows, which we got an awful lot of mail, particularly about when we had Allen Ginsberg and Joan Baez on. And I would just like to read it to you to show you what happens when you have something like that on the show. These were not typical guests, but I'll just read these straight through. How could you stoop so low as to have anyone like Joan Baez on your show is beyond me. She made the statement, who would want this country? If she doesn't like it, why doesn't she go somewhere else? I must say your show has the most appropriate sponsors, Santa Flesh, of any show on television. And I'm sure no one would miss her and her miserable talent, and I would be willing to bet no other country would want her either. Dick, let's see, where's that from? Michigan, not that it matters. It was so good to see Joan Baez on your show. Nonviolent movement is the future of humanity. If humanity is to have a future, hope to see her back again on your show. Thank you. Shows such as yours can be an influence for good, but not by providing a platform for those who hold our country in contempt. Joan Baez has amassed a fortune in our country under our system. I'd like to see her do it in any other country. She held up as an example. I'm sick of such un-American activities and pronouncements, my country, right or wrong. That's from Iowa. The actual source of that quote I looked up, and it's Carl Schurz, and the quote was, our country right or wrong, when right, keep her right, when wrong, to make her right again, which is more complicated, actually. Just to counteract the mail you may have gotten about Joan Baez Harris, enjoyed her very much after your tasteless remark about her husband. As well, thanks for having more courage than CBS. May I say further that bland, uninspired television offends my group. Sincerely, Ann Jennings. The appearance of Joan Baez, this is a telegram, on Dick Cavett's show Monday night was a revelation. Cavett's introduction, quote, the only guest I've had whose husband is in jail, end quote, was tasteless. But his opening remark, how does it feel to have your old man out of the house, sets a new standard for brutality in a medium whose basic contribution to American life is vulgarity. Cavett's comeuppance from the studio audience was surprising, but the revelation came from Miss Baez, her grace and her humanity, and Cavett, who when faced with a human being, revealed himself a fool. This is written to let you know that there are people who appreciate your letting Joan Baez express her views in relationship to the draft and the war and so on. Denver. Disappointing treatment of Baez deserves apology. Would appreciate explanation on air tonight. Is your liberal attitude a facade? Sorry to see you've been emasculated by ABC. Fraternally, the San Francisco Resistance. Thank you for showing courage and integrity by having someone on like Allen Ginsberg. It was the only opportunity many of us have had to hear this man speak. Your questions get right to the heart of the matter. Thank you. Why do you allow an insect like Allen Ginsberg to make a statement that Sinclair was sentenced to 9.5 to 10 years for possessing 2 marijuana cigarettes? I enjoy your show, but he was convicted for the 3rd time. Someone should clear this up. Why allow people to lie on your program? I'm disappointed in you. I guess I'll have to discontinue being one of your viewers. It's from Mr. Dentner, so someone can tell him that I read his letter. Well, your show is consistently interesting and entertaining, but tonight with Allen Ginsberg was the best yet. I hope that you will continue to see you for a long time, and Mr. Ginsberg again, William Mulligan, M.D. I'm sorry, I should not read some names and not others. Thank you for having Allen Ginsberg on. He's a great human being. On Tuesday, you had Allen Ginsberg on your show. After listening to your conversation with him, we came to the conclusion that he was in favor of drugs. He complained that a friend was given a sentence for 9 years for selling 2 sticks of pot. We would have given him 20 years. We are not old people. We're 15 and 16-year-old girls, and we don't consider ourselves squares. In our opinion, this man is a pig, and if the world were left in his hands, we feel it would be in a worse state than it is now. The drug user is a menace not only to himself, but all society. And thank you for... we'd like to express our opinion that not all young people are in favor of drugs. Well, this goes on. It's interesting and confusing. Another letter in favor of Ginsberg, another letter against him. Honest people can disagree on this subject, and I am not against either of you. This sort of thing gets me a bit. Why did you have that Ginsberg animal on your show? Do you think young people should take LSD? No, I do not, as I said on that show. He was as repulsive and obnoxious, and furthermore, he should be tried for treason. Why doesn't the Army round up some of these rats and put them away somewhere? Mrs. So-and-so, you, madam, are a fool. Anyway, I would like to, I hope you don't take that personally. And I don't mean to lump the other people who did not like Allen Ginsberg with you. My husband and I have been watching your show regularly. This is the confusing thing about doing this show. I explained this one night. I was talking to Jack Parr about it over the weekend. These, I think, speak for themselves. My husband and I have been watching your show regularly, enjoy it very much. Last night, Joan Baez, one of your guests, and I'm writing to let you know we did not agree with your stand against her. Usually, you're quite broad-minded, but last night you acted like a boob. Recently, I viewed the show in which Joan Baez was interviewed, and I was so appalled that I felt compelled to express my feelings. How sad that Americanism has slipped to this level. Hard to believe that anyone could make such comments on national television without one word of opposition from the host. There's a contradiction in those two. One more to show you that. May I tell you how happy I was that your audience did not applaud Joan Baez in the garbage her draft dodger husband wrote? But why did you sit there nodding and smiling agreement with every word out of her mouth? And the next letter says, Mr. Cavett's hostility and total ignorance of Joan Baez's message of brotherhood was despicable. He hates the love that she speaks of and that is possessed by Joan Baez, and it is a symbol of his insignificance. It's very hard to know which I did when I read these things. Anyway, I just wanted you to see that. People write in, I've said this before, when I disagree with someone, they say, you're supposed to shut up and be an objective host and not interrupt. And when I don't disagree with someone, they do. They say, the same people say, why don't you tell them? You know, why did you shut that guy up? So, as I said, please be more precise in your instructions. It's hard to know. There have been thousands of letters about the show going off. And this one amused me. I have favored my furniture. The kitchen floor shots bravo. The 3 toilet bowls are Santa flushed. Thanks to Raid, the only pest around is our dog. Our teenage daughters go with Clearasil and Sinex. And I'm smoking a Viceroy as I write. Is there anything else we can do to keep your litter entertaining program so on the air? You're to be commended for bringing us the best hours on television, so on. Thank you. I read that only to thank my sponsors who stuck with us all through this. I don't know how this got in here, but I get it from the left and the right. How could you stoop to having William Buckley on your show? The man is a known snake. That's it. A known snake is really something. I know that's going to ruin his day. Anyway, thank you for indulging me in all that and letting me hear that. I must read now this from Elton Rule of ABC, who's president of ABC. It's a telegram. Congratulations on the Dick Cavett Summer Series. As I mentioned in our meeting earlier this week, the response to this innovative programming is most gratifying. As you know, we are now developing plans to ensure the future of the Dick Cavett Show on ABC. I assure you, Dick Cavett figures strongly in ABC's future. Elton Rule, president of ABC Television Network. I want to read that because I did want to explain once again to those who don't understand it that this show was merely planned as a summer experiment, so to speak, with the possibility of bringing back in the fall. And so in fairness to the network, this was not a cancellation. They had bought their fall schedule, and they have to go ahead with it. And in fairness to you, there is not a definite time at the moment for me to come on, but there will be talk in the next couple of weeks. Woody Allen, after this message.
I'm confessing that I love you.
Gee, that never fails. I don't know what it is. I wish I could read you Judith Chris' review of Woody Allen's new film, but I cannot. It's a rave review, and it is a hilarious movie. I just saw it for the second time. And I would like you to welcome Woody. He's had a slight disappointment, and he may not be in a great mood. I probably shouldn't say that. But the 10 Best Dressed list came out, and he was edged out by the rest of the country. Will you welcome from the pages of Gentleman's Quarterly, Mr. Woody Allen? Yeah.
Contentions up there.
Yeah.
Thank you. You should know that this is true, that every year for the last 4 years, nobody ever says anything about this. I made the 10 best dressed list in Poland.
Well, I'm glad we cleared that up. You, all the time, because this movie of yours involves crime and all, I get asked, does he really have a serious interest in crime, and were you once, as a kid, I guess you've given interviews in which you've claimed an interest in crime.
I do. I have an interest in anything on the other side of the law, you know? And when I was younger, I wanted originally to be an FBI man when I was a little kid. That's true. But I didn't have the, I couldn't pass the physical to do it. I didn't have the height requirements or the, you know, I wasn't blonde enough, and I didn't have, and then I wanted to be a criminal for a long time, but This is true, but in New York State, you have to be, I think, over 5'7" to be a criminal.
Is that so?
Yeah. I passed the written, but I couldn't...
They keep revising the requirements, too. You just can't keep up with it. I understand you're following the Queen on what is known as another network.
Yes.
I guess we shouldn't mention which one, but people can easily probably take
This
that.
Sunday night, this coming Sunday night, which is the eve of a most sacred Jewish holiday, I'm on television. And all the Jewish people around the country are to atone for their sins on that night, and they put me on. And, and the funny part of it is, the show, it's a comedy show, and it's on, the times vary according to the country, but it's on this Sunday night on CBS, and I follow the Queen of England, and it's me and Candy Bergen and I in a sketch where we both get naked, which is really going to be an interesting sketch. It's true.
It's a sketch, not an actual picture.
We've done it already. We taped it already,
Yeah.
and it's really very interesting.
I don't know why I find this hard to believe, but I guess I do.
Oh, yes.
Am I too young and naive? And
No, but it's an hour of horny comedy, you know? It's really going to be interesting. And the Fifth Dimension are on with me, who are really one of my favorite singing groups, because I'm not... I never wanted to have a group on the show that I didn't really like, because I don't have the nerve to come out and give them a good introduction if I don't. And they consented to do the show. And also Billy Graham, the noted reverend and tall man, is going to be on the show.
It's a very unlikely combination, I must say.
Yes.
You know the royal family, do you? Weren't you when you were in England?
I was in England, but I did a command performance once for the Queen. Raquel Welch and myself did a command performance. It's true. It's not what you think it was, incidentally. I got a chance to meet the Queen, and I was in a long line of people, and I was dressed with tails and white tie and tails, and everybody else was next to me, and the Queen came down the aisle, and we all had to bow and meet her, and you know, she said, you know, what are you in town for? And it's true. That's what she said to me, and I said, can you get rid of the king for 5 minutes?
I wouldn't have thought of that. That's great. Do you know, speaking of Raquel Welch, have you ever heard this rumor that I was married to her once? I swear, yeah, no kidding. It appeared in a national magazine, in a question column, that we understand that Cavett was once married to Raquel Welch.
I thought that was true.
No. I would have remembered, wouldn't I? I'll have to... Well, anyway. I had Namath on here, Joe Namath, the other night.
Right.
You know, one of the frustrations of my life is that I never was able to play football. I was just too small. Did you go for football, even though you're even...
I played all sports well when I was younger.
That's all.
It's the truth. I'm a remarkably good athlete, and I'm a great baseball player. I got tremendous power to all fields, and
Kidding.
it's true. And I was a great quarterback, you know, and a fantastic field goal kicker, and I was a great high jumper, and I was a boxer for a while, and I was a great tennis and golf player, and I was a remarkable long-distance runner and a soccer star for a long time, and I do a lot of work on the trampoline, and I do quite a bit of charity work for the B'nai B'rith.
I see. I wondered where that was going. We have, listen, I have an idea. They have put these chairs out here. I thought of this just before we went on. What Norman Mailer calls an existential caper. Why don't we step down center stage, as they do in the Bishop Show, and let the audience ask us anything they want to.
Okay.
It might be stupid, and we may be sorry. I don't mean you will. I mean we may. Do you want to do that? Let's do it right now. Let's move right into that. Okay. This would probably be a good... We could stand if it's more comfortable.
It's a funny feeling. You know?
Yeah, it is
I
weird.
really feel like a dunce in this chair.
We look like two Charlie McCarthys sitting here. Bergie. Anyway, raise your hand if you want to ask us, either of us, a question. Yes, sir,
Woody,
you would.
how does it feel to be perverted?
How does it feel to be perverted?
How does it feel to be perverted?
Yes, it's a warm, wonderful feeling. I'm always asked that question. In this week's New York Magazine, I'm quoted as being, in quotes, one of the country's leading perverts. And it's true.
That's a strange thing
I'm
to
at least
call
one of the
anybody.
top 10, you know, if not the leading.
I haven't seen this year's list. Who else would let... There's a gentleman right there. Can you get a microphone to him? Either of us.
I saw you on 59th Street a week ago going to see that movie Swedish Heaven and Hell with a girl. Do you remember when I said to you, hello, paranoid?
Yes,
Yes, I do. One of us is crazy.
I just want to clarify this right now.
Yeah, I guess you better.
I wasn't going to see Sweden Heaven. I was going to see the 3 films of Edgar Allan Poe's, the Vadim Malin Fellini film, and that was not a girl with me.
And that's why I answered you the way I did that day. Now let them wonder if we're... Yes, the gentleman in the tie.
I've heard a rumor that you're going to run for the presidency in 1972. Is that true?
Which one of us is he talking to?
I don't think he's talking to either of us. Yes, he's not, and I am not neither.
Yes,
Vice President?
No, I myself believe in a fascist dictator state. And I would like to...
That's what it was. You were going to run for fascist dictator.
Yes, I'm running for dictator. My fondest wish is to be a benevolent dictator. I would like to, you know, get control of the reins of government for maybe just 20 minutes if I could. And, you know, I could really stick the shaft to all those people.
Running for fascists. They're one of the fascist runners in town. How do we do it? What a team. We ought to be on TV more often. Who else has one? There must be a balcony. Yes, balcony. What? Yes, you. I'm assuming there's someone up there. Anyone down here? It's hard to see the balcony. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yell it out. Sorry?
What size shoe do you wear?
What size shoe do I wear? Which leg? That's not bad for an ad.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah. I wear 8s. They're actually booties. I have very little feet. Yes, lady in the hairpiece. No, I'm sorry.
Would you ever be a guest on Merv Griffin or Johnny Carson if they asked you?
We were thinking of having them here, but they're going to have to hurry. Yeah, I think we're both free to appear wherever we like. Yes, balcony.
What is that strange animal musk which Mr. Allen exudes that drives women wild? And where can we get it?
Is he back again? Folks at home, the question is, where is the strange animal musk Mr. Allen exudes that drives women wild, and where can we get it? Next. Yes, a gentleman with the bow tie. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Allen, there was an item in the paper
Yes.
that stated that you can make a lot more money writing, but you prefer performing. Could you tell us why you personally prefer performing?
I don't. I don't prefer writing or performing, actually.
Well, why do you do? Why do you do more performing than writing?
I don't. I do an inverse ratio of writing to the amount of perverse activity that I do. And, there's somebody in the balcony right there.
There's someone actually freaking out in the balcony. Yes, yes, you're right, yes.
Pretty close in here.
Yeah.
I'm married but separated. You know, so it's the same thing in a different sense. I have to walk a few blocks to get what I want.
I don't understand a word of this. I have to walk a few blocks. Yes, someone with glasses, please. There's a gentleman with glasses right back there. Sir, congratulations on your glasses. I thought you had a question. I don't mean to be impertinent.
I wonder if Mr. Cavett has yet made, or if he would now care to, an endorsement for the position of mayor of New York.
Endorse whom for the position of mayor?
Well, your choice, I would presume.
Yes, I want the funny one. Yes, we all know who that is. Yes, a gentleman raising his hand timorously, but has a terrific physique.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Who,
who's
me?
your tailor? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Who's your tailor?
Who's my tailor?
Right.
I buy everything at, this is true, at the Army and Navy store on 42nd Street.
Is that so?
It's the best place. You go in there and it fits right off the rack, and it's like $7 for a pair of pants, and they last forever. And they have an interesting built-in musky odor that you might like.
I see. There's a lady right here.
You're both known for your athletic prowess. Which of you can do the most push-ups?
Which of us can do the most push-ups? I think we all know the answer to that. We would cancel each other out.
Yes. That's true. I started a push-up in 1946. This is true, and it lasted through, I think, the late 50s.
Do you think they're daring us to try? Come on. Make a spectacle of our...
I can't do push-ups because I have a terrible, I have an emphysema of my chest that extends, this is true, down to my leg and back up the other side, negating. Also, my chest is at the Broadhurst Theater.
We should give odds. We should start even. I should take my jacket off.
Yeah, I'm not going to actually do push-ups.
Should we take our whole shirt off and do our push-ups on the... That'd be silly. Come on.
I thought you
Don't
meant,
egg us on.
With the eyelids.
No, actual push-ups.
From the floor? I can't get down.
I will if you will.
Take my shirt off?
Yeah.
I'll roll my sleeves up. I can't take my shirt off because I have a pornographic tattoo on my chest. And it cannot be seen on a major network, you know, unless accompanied by a parent. Pardon me?
Did you oil your muscle?
Did I oil my muscle? It's funny, this guy...
You guys seen your old egg. Okay. Are we undressed enough? If we took our shirts off, it would close the network.
Yeah, I can't take anything off. You know what?
Yeah.
You actually want to do push-ups?
I don't know if we ought to go in.
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
But think of it this way. What if I drop dead from a heart attack? Then you clap, but you'll feel guilty, right, when you go home. Because, you will, because I'm vulnerable. And you think that guy, he was sweet and he dropped dead from a heart attack because we egged him on to do push-ups. I don't want to do any push-ups. If you want to see a physical act performed,
I knew you'd get us out of this.
Don't we have to break for
I have a tattoo
commercial?
that says Wilma that I'm very ashamed of. No, I got it as a kid at the fair. There was a girl named Wilma, and after that I broke up with her, and there are no red-hot Wilmas running around, so I've wasted my Wilma.
I don't want to do push-ups. I can't. I'm too dignified.
Let's do 5, and we'll let the audience count, and they'll judge on who did them better.
5? You gotta be kidding. I can't hold out for more than 2. All right, I'm gonna do them.
Go. How long can we stay this way?
Okay.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah,
All right. Go. 1. Oh. I think
4.
It's funny. Have you ever heard a man herniate from the waist up? Very strange.
Really
we have
bad.
to pause and collect our senses. Miss Gordon will be here in a moment. Woody, is your movie around the country yet, or are we talking about a movie that's only in New York?
No. The movie is in New York at the 68th Street Playhouse, and it's in Los Angeles at the Regent Theater, and it's in Boston at the Sherry One Theater, and it opens next week in Philadelphia at the Lane Theater, and the week after that at the United Artists Theater in Chicago. And
Could I hear those again? I must say, you're very frank in those answers. You've always been about your personal life, about anything. I've never seen anyone answer questions with such candor. You talk about the ladies.
Yeah, I'm very cool about that. You know, I am. This is a true story. About 2 weeks ago, I ran into my ex-wife at a restaurant in New York, and I'm a sophisticated person about all these things, you know, and I said to her, would you be interested in, for old time's sake, to make love one more time? And she said, over my dead body. And I said, why not? That's the way we always used to do it.
I wish I were older and understood all these things.
She was traumatized because on our honeymoon night, I was making love to her and I got a tear in one of my rubber gloves.
Oh, wait a minute. Ridiculous. Let me... Wait, is there a camera on me? Oh, yes. I would like to introduce a lady who is one of the incomparable ladies in the American theater. There have been